2, 1. Hey everybody, welcome to our first album review of episode 26 in 2026. Episode 26 in 2026. Today we're going to be covering Chet Faker with his new album, A Love for Strangers. But before we get into that, Mel, how are you doing?
Good.
How are things?
Yeah.
Happy Valentine's Day to everybody, because that's what we're recording as we, that's what the day of recording is, I guess. You guys won't see this until well afterwards, but is what it is. But yeah, Chet Faker, right off the hop. Let's get right into it. A Love for Strangers just dropped yesterday. Yes, it was yesterday.
Yes,
it was yesterday. It was the 13th of February. Who is Chet Faker? Well, let me tell you. It's Nicholas Murphy, known professionally as Chet Faker, is an Australian singer-songwriter who's been in the game since 2011. First got his start dropping a cover of Blackstreet's No Diggity, which went viral. He then went to drop his debut EP, Thinking in Textures, in 2012 to really strong reviews, which landed the single I'm Into You, hitting 24 on the Triple J, which is the Australian charts. The Triple J's Hottest 100 of 2012. He then dropped his follow-up EP, Lockjaw, which is what I know him the best from, with notable DJ Flume in 2013. I love that EP a lot. It was fantastic. This went into his debut album, Built on Glass, which debuted at number 1 on the ARIA charts, with singles like Talk is Cheap, Gold in 1998, all hitting 1, 7, and 8 on the Triple J Top 100, respectively. He also dropped a last EP, Work, in 2015, and since has kind of retired the Chet Faker moniker until 2020, releasing a few albums, 2019's Run Fast, Sleep Naked, and 2020's Music for Silence under his name Nick Murphy, and then returning back to Chet Faker for 2021's Hotel Surrender, his last as Chet Faker. He dropped another album with his given name in 2021, Take in the Roses, and that was his last album in general, so it's been 5 years since the last time we've gotten a project from either Chet Faker or Nicholas Murphy. That takes us into his first project to be released in 5 years, A Love for Strangers, the one that we're covering today. It's meant to be a return to that Chet Faker persona, and kind of an exploration of what worked on his earlier work, especially seeing the kind of the 10-year anniversary of his more prolific piece, Built on Glass, kind of trying to revisit that kind of stylistically. But before we go into it, Mel, what were your thoughts on Chet Faker before listening to the album?
I didn't realize I had thoughts about Chet Faker before I listened to the album. So I listened to the album and then I realized that I tend to, if I have the time, I listen through, and then if I don't know them very well, I'll go and I'll at least listen to their top tracks on Spotify, whatever's featured. So I started going through the top tracks on Spotify, and I realized he was literally a huge part of my soundtrack of the early 2010s. And I was I was like, wait a second, this is the same fucking guy. Spoiler alert, I was kind of, once realizing, I was a little let down. So I don't know. I guess I would have. I'm actually kind of glad I didn't know or didn't realize going into it, because I might have been a lot meaner.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
I think it helped me be objective a little bit.
That's completely fair.
Yeah. How about you?
Obviously, like I said, I was a huge fan of Built on Glass, and particularly the stuff that was on the Lockjaw EP, because that's what I started listening to, and then when they dropped Built on Glass, then I listened through that, which a lot of that EP ended up carrying over onto that album. So that was a pretty big one for me. But yeah, I've always been a big fan. That's why I was really excited to see that they're dropping another album. Got into it, and then we're gonna find out what my thoughts were on everything as we go through it. So, not to spoon feed them before they actually finish listening to the podcast. You know,
I didn't know how to not spoil a little bit.
I know, I get you. But yeah, so the album opens up with the track "Over You." just kind of immediately into the electronica sphere that I think we would all expect if we remembered that we knew who Chet Faker was. So let's go ahead and give this one a listen. Go ahead, start us off.
Yeah, so this one actually ends up being one of my top threes. Nice,
too.
cool. Yeah, I really liked like that gentle atmospheric opening. I loved how it switched up to that little upbeat groove. I had so much fun with that in the background. My biggest complaint was that the chorus vocals were so jarring when they came in, though. Like, I felt like he was like really pushing his vocal boundaries, and once I kind of settled into the noise, I kind of appreciated the rawness of it. But initially I was just like, oh, that sounds like it hurts him to do. And yeah, I really like there's like that techie transition to the final chorus, which I thought was a really fun way to break it up. I thought this was like a really solid start. I loved all the little earworms.
Yeah. 100%. That's exactly where I was. Like I said, it opens up to that electronic, but very atmospheric, uplifting, kind of inspired kind of motif, which was great. The shaker beats right off the hop were fun. We'll kind of discuss those in a little bit more detail as we keep moving forward through the album. I actually specifically wrote that I think Mel's gonna love the vocals here on this one, and maybe, and I do understand, like, especially in the verses. I was like, this sounds.
I loved most of them. It was just every once in a while he seemed like he was stretching a little too far.
Yeah, 100%. For me, I actually liked it. I thought it was like perfect. It was quintessential Chet Faker doing his thing. Like I said, it's a lot more atmospheric, but like it feels like really kind of revelationary in its own vibe, and so I thought that this album kind of felt like that. It was a nice down-tempo start, like a really strong opening. I thought this was a great one. Again, also one of my top 3 tracks of the album. But that brings us into what was kind of the big single for the album. So let's hear that, how that goes. This was 1,000 Ways. Let's go ahead and listen.
1,000 ways to get to know you. 1,000 ways to fall in love. 1,000 ways to get to know you. 1,000 ways to fall in love. So baby, keep it quiet.
So, the shaker beats are fun, right?
Same. They're the same. It starts the same with that atmospheric instrumental. Like, I already feel like we are just so scripted, and we're only on track 2.
It felt so much the same. You get the organy keys, which like kind of brightens it up. Yeah, like I said, we're back into some shaker beats. We have a more pronounced vocal on this one, so I did actually write, like, it's a good change up without completely throwing it on its face. It's really pretty. It's, again, really atmospheric. It does feel almost the same as the track before it. So, like, I wrote, like, I worry that this might just become a very one-dimensional project because of this. So I was, like, really nervous, especially in the electronica space where, like, there's so much creativity that you could throw into it. There's so many things you can do with electronic music. And you just almost, like, copy and paste things over, like, really, really close.
Oh, yeah.
Like, really, really close.
Yeah.
It's still a nice track, but, like, comboed with the track before, there just really wasn't enough diversity to make it stand out. So I was like,
Yeah.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, I'm pretty much on the same wavelength there. Yeah, like I said, it was a very similar start, but he added birds chirping in the beginning. Don't know what that's all about. I did like his vocals on this one more, and he had fun vocal inflections happening in the second verse that I really like thought were a nice touch. And then my biggest complaint about this one, other than it being repetitive, is once we got to the bridge, it felt so messy. Like he stripped away the beat, and I felt like that was keeping us grounded. And it just like it, I just all of a sudden nothing sounded right to me. It just felt very like what was maybe supposed to be stripped back and raw just felt messy. So I like hated the bridge.
I get you. No, actually, that's a really good point.
But
I agree.
I don't know. So far, copy paste.
Yeah. So let's listen to Far Side of the Moon. Let me know if you spot the differences.
Calling from the far side of the moon, and I will come along for you.
There you go. That was right to the end. Oh, nice little pew. I didn't catch that.
I
on
didn't
my,
either,
my first
actually.
listen.
Yeah, so
So shake your beats.
copy paste again.
It really is, again, a piano-heavy opening, the uplifting backtrack, the shaker beats. Like even the tempo isn't really changing all that much. Like, it's really much the same. It's just, 3 tracks in, it's getting really redundant. It's really nicely written, but if the album's going to be 12 tracks and 45 minutes of this, it's going to feel more like a lacking DJ set than it is like an engaging project. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like going to like a house music show where it's just kind of going into the same thing over and over again. I'm not going to call it like a trance music show where it is just the same tempo for like 4 hours. But it's starting to feel like I said, just a lackluster DJ set.
Yeah.
With really nice vocals over top of it. Like, for some people that love EDM and that kind of intentional EDM music, I get that this is going to be great for them. For me, it feels like a background album. Like, it's all B-side because it's all the same so far. Right? And, like, I had a tough time even calling the first track my favorite track because I might have liked the other 2 tracks more, but I can't tell because just listen to them sequentially, they're all the same.
Honestly, that's a great point where it's like because it was fresh, we weren't annoyed by it yet, so we instantly just liked it. I don't know. Yeah. And I really do like the sound of his vocals, like that crooning over like the hyper beat. I'm a big fan of, but like I just need a change of pace. It's so monotonous. Like
100%. I agree. We do get a little bit of a difference in This Time For Real, which is the next track. So let's go ahead and listen to that, and then go from there.
This time for real, I don't want nothing for it. I'll be the one you wanted. This time for real, I don't want nothing for it. I'll be the one you wanted. Probably shouldn't, but I think I might. I've been thinking about it all damn night.
This one is actually my favorite, and I can't actually tell if it's just because we finally got something different. Like, I thought this one was a lot groovier. I thought the cadencing was more fun, and like it felt like it had more personality and that he actually had fun recording it.
This was a lot of fun. It really was. This reminded me a lot of Fatboy Slim as well, like in the production styling of it, like especially like the beginning and end of like From the Gutter to the Stars. Like this like hit all of those things where it really feels like I'm just doing this for the sake of doing it. You know, like you've got these kind of break beats. It changes up. You still get those really cheerful pianos, and you still kind of get those shaker beats at the foundation of it, but like you get the breakaways for some vocal moments. You hear him laughing on the track. Like, you finally get kind of a vocal plus electronica vibe out of this one that you didn't necessarily get with the first part. It's unfortunate because so far, like, this track probably was, like, at this point in the album, one of my least favorite tracks sonically, but
it's fun.
It really stood out because of how the record was laid out already. So this wasn't my favorite, but I appreciate the fact that it did add like a difference to it, and there was a big appreciation for it. Again, it feels fun. It just wasn't quite fun enough to overcome, I think, its shortcomings.
Fair.
And again, I still liked the other 3 tracks more. I just hated the fact that it was 3 tracks of almost the same thing. So
Yeah, that's why I kind of put like an asterisk next to my favorite, because it's like I actually can't tell if it's just because it's different and I just needed different.
There's a lot of my faves. I do have like a true fave here that doesn't need an asterisk, but like a lot of my favorites in here do have to come with an asterisk because I don't really know if it's just positioning or if it, like, there's a lot of different reasons that it could end up being my fave other than it actually being a favorite song. But that brings us into the next track, Can You Swim? Let's a little bit more of like a theremin-esque kind of like opening, so still very atmospheric, but a different style of atmosphere building, which was kind of cool. But let's listen to Can You Swim?
Can you swim? Do you know how? Love is a passenger in my arms.
Go ahead.
We'd slammed on the brakes, like slammed on the brakes. But I guess I did ask for a change of pace. I really liked, I don't know if it was like electric guitar, whatever that static was happening. And I like how it kept happening behind the piano. But I did say like it was a nice switch up as far as the intro goes. But then when he transitions into the gentle piano, I felt like completely lied to and like completely misled. And it's not at all where I thought I was going. And I'm sure his intention was to have like a ballad that really tugs at our heartstrings. But like I didn't get anything out of this. It didn't really make me feel anything.
This as an independent single probably would have done better.
Maybe.
Because the tracks beforehand had already kind of numbed us to the piano plus electronics.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, that really theremin-esque kind of opening, it's very quiet and contained compared to everything, but then again, it opens up to that same spot of those first 3 tracks, keys plus electronica equals Chet Faker. I appreciate the introspectiveness of this album kind of the whole way through, but it feels like while it's trying to look inward, it just keeps looking at the same spot. You know what I mean? And when you look, when you want to have an introspective album, it stops to feel very genuine when it doesn't really seem to elaborate on anything other than that specific one moment, and that's kind of sonically what it's doing to me. For 12 tracks, obviously, this will just get old. It really falls into that same place again. What it does very well. It's just only doing that, and I think there's so much more that you can do with the space electronica specifically gives you. So for it to fall into such a consistent and repetitive box was kind of disappointing, but there was no shaker beat.
No.
So I guess if it can't be a shaker beat, then there can't be a beat at all, was Chet Faker's mentality on this record. I suppose that's where it was. But that takes us over into Remember Me. So let's
God, I don't want to.
Remember Me.
I hated this one.
Really? This was one of my
Shut
favorites.
up. Really?
I love this song.
Okay, so like I hated the chorus. Like I hated the chorus.
I can
so
understand
much.
that.
It was,
which is specifically what I got a clip
yeah,
on.
it was so unnecessarily like overwhelming after stripping it all down, and I thought the sax carried, so I had a great appreciation for the sax, but like I could not get over my hatred of the chorus. I like couldn't let it go.
See, this was one of the, I can understand that. This was one of my favorites because again, it was still very optimistic, uplifting, still that piano, but we got like a bit of a different aesthetic to it, which like was huge. And that tampered filter on the keys was, I think, like super important because everything else has been pretty pure piano. This gave it a change up in terms of like what the mood of the album has already created. But then adding some diversity between the tracks, doing that. The horn was fantastic. Obviously, I love a good horn. The vocals were a lot stronger on this one. We had a complete change up in the beat portfolio. Still a bit reminiscent of the shaker beats that have consistently been throughout the album. But I thought the change up was enough to be like independently recognizable. And that was awesome to me. This was, in my opinion, a breath of fresh air halfway through the album.
Cool.
So what you might have liked so much about like this time, was it This Time for Real that was one of your favorites?
It was, yes, it was This Time for Real.
This was where that broke through for me.
Fair.
Was like, this is where, okay, like I'm out of the dirt here.
You're making me want to like re-listen to it because maybe I can get over it. The chorus.
The chorus was pretty overdrawn out like, and tacky and repetitive.
I couldn't get over it.
I don't disagree. I can understand that. But just like the verses themselves, the production side of that side was like, that's what I was looking for to change this up. But again, that's why I put a big asterisk beside it because is it good because it was good or is it good because it was different?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's where that clicks in for me.
This is a really
I can't tell you for sure.
This is a really frustrating album to review.
Where what you said about This Time for Real, and I'm like, I didn't really like this one. That was a low light for me.
Yeah, okay.
Was kind of the same deal. But moving on, that moves us into Inefficient Love. Let's go ahead and give this one a listen.
My inefficient love again breaks my heart into pieces. My inefficient love. Some friend calls her name and then leaves in the end. My inefficient love.
Okay, I really liked this one. I felt like what he was trying to do with Can You Swim, he actually accomplished here. Like, it actually felt tender and raw and real. I loved the vocal filtering or layering or whatever he was doing with that. I love an acoustic guitar. So yeah, this one is one of my tops because it finally felt real.
This was for sure my favorite. Like, by like a long shot. I adore this song. This song, like, we get some guitar, which doesn't exist anywhere else in the album. Should mention.
Wow.
Like, yeah, it was, like, I'm so much more optimistic for the back part of the album because of this track. It's gorgeous. It's so unique from the record without losing the soul that I think the project was trying to portray. this is really what I was looking for. And this is the least Chet Faker sounding song of all of them. Like, the vocals were amazing. It fell into, like, what I, like, love so much about Bon Iver and Dan Mangan, like, to mention just artists that we've covered. Like, this was such a refreshing addition to the track. This was, like, individually, this was, like, almost a 10 out of 10 track for me.
Yeah.
Which is, like, what made this album so frustrating.
There's really good and really bad. It's just...
yeah, like, it was so good. I love this song. I want to listen to it again, like, right away. Like, it was fantastic. Huge fan.
Cute. Yay. Yeah, we're on the same page with this one. That's nice. Yeah,
cool.
finally we found our middle ground.
Yes, this was just the spot. Just something that wasn't repetitive, showed, like, some true, like, vulnerability and all the things that you said that you wanted the album to be. This hit, right? Then we get a nice little interlude afterwards, which I think that's a perfect song to do a little interlude afterwards. Just like a little palate cleanser. So Angels, Dolphins, 111. I didn't grab a clip for it because it is just like a minute and 11 seconds or something like that. It's short. It might actually, that might just be because it's 111 is in the actual song title. I don't remember what.
I was about to say, like, is it actually? Because that would explain it. But
I mean, no, that for sure is not true. I would have put that together for sure. But yeah, it's just this nice little interlude. Not a lot to work with, but it does follow that same optimism sounding vibe that it's generated throughout the whole album. I don't really know if it added more than it didn't. Yeah. You know? So, like, it didn't really do a whole lot for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an interlude. It was always going to be skippable, but it's, like, kind of more skippable than some interludes.
Agree.
In my opinion.
Didn't really do anything to build a story or, like, change the pacing up too much. It was just kind of there. Yeah.
It really did. But then we get into the thing about nothing, featuring Alex vs. Alex, which is great because one of Chet Faker's best things is his collaboration work. So I was really excited to see some collaboration on here. Let's listen to the thing about nothing.
I can't understand. Teach me how to stand. Who I really am. Standing on prayer. Amen. Take me to the river. Tell me something right. Ven que yo te sigo. Yo voy a donde tú vas.
Yeah, I mean, you grabbed my favorite part of the song. You didn't get any of what was extremely frustrating for me, which I appreciate. I was, like, so torn with this one because Alex versus Alex vocals in the beginning, it felt like they were struggling. Like, it was, like, very low and whispery and breathy, but it felt strained. And it literally sounds like she's, like, doing damage to whatever's going on in her throat. But I thought they killed it on the second verse. I thought that was so pretty. So it's just, there's such a high and a low for me on this track. It's frustrating.
100%. Yeah. You know, like I said, feature work is something I was really looking forward to from Chet Faker. It's still a similar aesthetic, but I think the adding of other vocals into it's another way to kind of bust up the monotony, at least. So that was a positive. We're back to the shaker beat, though, so, like, we're not that far away from the monotony. I thought they were breaking up. I really wanted the feature track to excite me a lot more, but it didn't. Again, the thing it does well. It's just, again, redundantly. So this just felt like it fell back into that same kind of vibe that was going on throughout everything else. And yeah, here we are. And so that takes us into Oh No. All caps, in case you were wondering. Let's go ahead and listen.
background, I can't actually tell if like that beat is like, oh, no, or not, but whatever that was, I thought was a really cool take to help like ground whatever else is happening with the song. But this felt way more like an intermission or like an interlude to me than it did like a full track.
It was a really short track. Like I think it was only
Maybe
like a minute and like 40 some seconds,
That
something
sounds
like
right,
that. So, like
yeah.
it was short. But it was obviously a lot more electronic there with that saxo house spot kind of opening. But then it goes into that more modern beat, which was kind of cool, that modern rock kind of feel. This was a really nice spot. It was like really unique for a short little jam track. I just wished it was longer, personally. I kind of wished I liked the reprieve and the change up, and I was like, I just wish there was kind of a little bit more there.
Agree. It actually is like it's on like the top half of tracks for me. It just felt
me too.
a little short.
Yeah, 100%. That takes us over to A Level of Light. So let's go ahead and give this one a listen. Yeah, nice little just kind of downbeat jam. I like the over-filtered vocals on this one. Actually, it was kind of cool. The beat change up was nice, just kind of a really nice, like, pleasant melody. This is 10 hours of lo-fi beats to relax and study to.
Yes.
Like, perfectly. You know what I
was
mean?
the
Like, there
shit
should be a girl studying at a desk with a cat on a bed.
This is the shit that when I used to do like live stream art stuff, I would have on the background, like on Twitter.
100%. Yeah, I really like how refrained this is. It was just a really nice kind of enjoyable segment to like end the back end of the album with. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. It's just a pleasant song about not a whole lot. It lacks depth,
It does.
in my opinion, but like after some of the other spots in this album, it just feels pleasant and dynamic from all the other sounds that they've kind of tried to create. I was fine with this.
This one kind of frustrated me again because I really, really was enjoying the vibe. I like that staticky speak singing that he like the speak vocals that he was doing to change it up. He also just really loves his static, I'm noticing. But I was enjoying the vibe until we hit that Love for Strangers part. And I don't know if it was like a heavy percussion or whatever that noise is. It made it feel messy again for me. And I feel like, I don't know, it could have maybe transitioned better. It kind of just took me out of the space I was enjoying, if that makes sense. But it was okay.
Yeah. I enjoyed it a lot more than you did. But, and then finally, because we didn't have enough piano throughout this album, and we've had a little bit of a break, we have Just My Hallelujah. So let's, if you didn't expect there to be piano here, that's on you. Let's listen.
It's just my hallelujah. You got me singing
My notes are, I'm not excited to hear the piano again. Ugh, he's hitting high notes again. I don't find this endearing at all. I don't like it. I did like his deeper register, and we hadn't really gotten that on any other track, so I thought that was a nice touch. But this left me with a stank face to close out the album, and I did not enjoy it. I did not like this at all.
I didn't hate it because it was the finale to the project. I was kind of fine with it. I assumed obviously the piano would be brought back here. You needed to know, right? So not surprised, but I do feel like it was designed to bring the album kind of full circle. I didn't like the first part of the circle very much, so that was part of the problem. I'm like, don't bring it back full circle, like straight line as far away from as possible, right? The vocal solo I thought was actually like kind of a nice touch, and like the pull away from all of the instrumentation. I do like the vocal forward presence in it. You're right, the high notes are rough, but like, at least again, it was kind of change up from everything else. I thought it was like just kind of a nice, sweet little finale to the project. You know, I know those high notes were not necessarily the cleanest ones hit ever, but...
And I'm okay with raw vocals, but again, it just doesn't... It didn't sound comfortable. Like, it was just, like, screechy more than it was... I don't know.
I'm with you. So, yeah, that's the record. In conclusion, Mel, how'd you feel?
This was such a frustrating listen. Because there was a lot that I liked, and then there was a lot that just grossed me out. The album was either really boring and repetitive, or when he got experimental at parts or tried to switch it up, it felt messy at points. I did not like the piano ballads. I did not like them. Like, I was okay with piano when it was like mixed with a beat, but those I felt completely abandoned his sound at all, and it just, I don't know, it just like halted everything for me. I did really love his grumbly crooning vocals. Just didn't like it when he went for those high notes, and there were like a lot of highlights for me that I will revisit, but even some of those felt kind of like forgettable. So yeah, my biggest appreciation for this album is that it reintroduced me to his older work, and I'm kind of going to be in a hyperfixation mode on that now. So like, I have an appreciation for the album, and I tried to be like objective with my rating, but I gave it a 5.9 because it's not awful. It's not awful. Yeah. I just slightly above mid.
Yeah. In my opinion, the album's fine. It has its really sweet moments, and the things it does really well. But there was a lot of repetition in the earlier parts of the album that really made it take time to get into. And I think especially in the realm of electronica, where like you have so much at your disposal, this really lacked a lot of the fine-tuned pieces that create dimensions and dynamics, especially from what I would expect from Murphy on this. It does open up a lot later in the album. I can understand that. But I just don't know that it overcomes the expectations that I had out for the record in terms of creativity based on Chet Faker's earlier projects. Like, it just... The whole point of electronic music is the fact that you really have the whole world at your disposal. Yeah. And this didn't use that. It used the same pieces kind of repetitively. So I gave it a 6.1. Okay.
Oh, wow. We're pretty close.
So we were really close. We put it down to an even 6 on average. Okay. So like that fully tracks to me.
Just the piano freaked me out a little bit more than it freaked you.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, so that's our cover. Love for Strangers by Chet Faker. Nice. Appreciate you guys coming in and listening. Let us know in the comment section. Were we right? Were we wrong? Was there something that we missed? We're never wrong. So that's, don't worry about putting those
He's starting to appreciate my takes a little bit more. He said, we're never wrong.
She's doing better. She's doing better. She's wrong about some things, but that's fine. We can get over it. Yeah, guys, let us know in the comment section. We want to hear from you. Please let us know. But hopefully you enjoyed it. Make sure you click follow so you can keep hearing the rest of our album reviews and some of our single reviews. We're on Beat Off Script. I'm Brandito. She's Mel, and we'll catch you soon. Bye. 3, 2, 1.